Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three, four. Can everybody hear me okay? And risk in trading, we know about that. And then past performance is not indicative of future results. Well, what a week it's been. I love having wrap ups. Seems like this is every week this way, but it's pretty much true because we've been really right on the ball based on what we're doing. I hope everybody's benefiting from it. That's the main thing. Never know. Never know. So hope you are. The market itself has stayed strong all week long, and we're going out on a high note. Bitcoin's been the story, and I think that's okay. Uh, I really have done really well in Bitcoin for not knowing about the fundamentals, but I know how to trade it. And wow, I mean, there's some of the things that I look at. So that's pretty good. At the first of the week, I introduced that new stock to you, MSTR. What a stock! I mean, goodness gracious. I see why everybody likes to trade it because that sucker will move a lot. So you got to be careful not to overload your boat with that one. I mean, I had I had 10 shares of it and it dropped 100 points on those 10 shares. I said, goodness gracious, it's supposed to be a small position. Well, it came back luckily, and that's what I thought it would do because I thought it would actually get in line. I guess somebody recommended it was overvalued. Of course, it's overvalued. Everything's overvalued sometimes. Yeah, I'm waiting on the bond information also because I'm curious about the bonds. Very curious about the bonds. I think there's an opportunity there. But it's the largest, that particular stock has the biggest movement of any stock in the S&P 500. Think about that. I mean, usually for $5 or $10 stock you could think about, but not for one that's trading what that one's trading at. That's pretty wild stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna keep with it, and I think that guy that guy is obviously a risk taker, the guy that runs that company, in my opinion. All right, let's go through the trade highlights this week. It really made me feel good. Number one, if you took any of these trades, and number two, if you'd send me an email at tbuzztnt, Jonathan, type it in there, please. Uh, tbuzztnt at Gmail. Have not sent me an email there over the weekend. I'll look at it. And I want to hear your story. That gets me pumped up for next week. I get a lot of satisfaction when I hear your success. So let's go through these. QQQ, that was in WPC, IBH, 9% return. I'm using $1,000 to do illustrations of how valuable this information is. Now, who took that trade? Who took that trade? Cherry says she took it. Well, good for Cherry. Okay. Weekend Profits Club people take it? Yep. I hope they did. Eric, you don't see my slides? Why don't they see my slides, Jonathan?
Well, uh, besides Eric, does anyone else see the slides? Okay. Eric, must just be on your end, Eric. Try to restart the room for you.
This is too valuable not to get to see it. You're welcome for that podcast that I did on Mr. All right, you did better than me, RB. Bernard said it's terrible risk to reward. I don't think so, Bernard. Let me explain. Jonathan, explain risk to reward to Bernard. He says that's terrible risk reward. Yeah, if you're about a 30% accurate player, but I'm not. So let's just do it. Do the math. Do it. Go to it, Jonathan, for him.
The math on a credit spread?
Yeah, he says it's a terrible risk reward. I said I disagree. Let's just explain why in numbers.
Well, in numbers, if you get 16 cents for a one wide, you got $84 of risk. And if you get out at 6 cents, let's say that, you've collected 10, and 10 over 84 is about 10%. A little bit more than that. 10% return on your money.
How long were we in that trade?
No more than a few trade hours. It was entered on the afternoon and gotten out the next morning. Actually, the first half was taken off before the day was even done.
Right. So you saying to me in 24 hours, a 10% return, multiply that times about 5 days, that's about 50%, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Hmm. No, David, that is when we say 20%, that's our original goal. However, sometimes if it happens real fast like that, I will go on and bank it because overnight risk. Has anybody ever heard me talk about why overnight risk is the biggest demon out there to trading? It is for me anyway. If you do that, you ought to listen to the first chapter of my book, okay? My first chapter of my book pretty well explains it, why I think the way I do. Pretty good stuff. Anyway, hope that explained it to you, Bernard. That's the way we look at it. Money's in the pocket. We can use it the next day for something else too. We're not counting that return. All right, let's keep going. 15% on this Berkshire. We did that one today, Jonathan. That's the one that hit we put on yesterday. We closed today.
Right.
Now, I took 15%. Do I think Berkshire's not going up? No. But I like to reset my trades on Tuesday and avoid overnight risk over the weekend and Monday. And by Tuesday, I'll get back in with those profits in my back pocket and look at something else. Look, Richard got out at $1.19, Jonathan. He's better than we are.
That's
Way to
good.
go,
That's what we
Richard.
want
That's
to
what I
see.
love seeing. I love seeing that. Okay, let's keep going. Here's a 24% return on the QQQ. I love that one. So if you got $1,000 up, you made 240. How about a 40% return? Y'all shouldn't get what is the conclusion if you're looking at this, what we've done this week? What is your conclusion, no matter how good a trader you think you are, or how much you know about the market? What's your conclusion that you ought to be saying to yourself when you see this kind of stuff? What's your conclusion? If I'm sitting there looking at something like that, I say, give me some of that. Learn and listen. Very consistent, right, Mike? I'm pretty consistent. This is a weekly thing we go through. All right, that's a 16% return. That's pretty good. That's the way I feel about it, Mark. 12% return. How about a little Tesla action, 22% return? This is all this week, right, Jonathan? I mean, this is what we closed out. Okay. 9%. That was a bonus trade in Genesis, a new program I started. Rick, whoa. My maximum risk is not 25%. Where'd you get that?
Rick may be a Genesis subscriber, and these have been trades from all different programs which have different strategies. So all Rick is saying is that you don't usually hardly ever let a trade go to zero, which is our maximum risk. So and realistically, our return on our quote actual risk, since you never let a trade go to zero, is much higher than the stated, but we have to state our return on risk as the maximum risk going into the trade. That's all Rick is saying there.
Yeah, because options are handled differently, where you're a long call, Rick, or a short seller like me. Okay. And that's just, the facts speak for themselves. So let's just do that. Let's just do some math here before we go to the next slides, okay? Okay. If somebody was 50% accurate, let's say you flipped the coin and were accurate, how much could you lose versus what you made to break even after 10 trades? Just think of it that way. How much could you lose and how much would you have to make to break even after 10 trades if your accuracy rate was 50%? So your risk would have to equal your reward to break even, right? Everybody got it? So if you lost 50% on your options for 5 trades, you'd have to average making 50% on the options for the 5 you make to break even. Everybody understand that relationship? Say yay. Okay, let's talk about me. That sounds like a Toby Keith song, doesn't it? Okay. Now, if you've been trading as long as I have, and you've been listening to me, say over a year or 2 years, how accurate do you think I come in at? Am I 50% accurate, or am I 60% accurate, or 70% accurate, or 80% accurate? Yep, 80%. I'll be right 4 out of 5 times. So let's say that I lost 50% on an option. That'd be 100% of that 1,000, right? If I started, it had 1,000, I'd lose 500, and 500 be 1,000. So I'd have to make at least on those other 8 trades $1,000 to break even, wouldn't it? Everybody got that? If I lost 50%. So I try to structure it for new traders, knowing what my accuracy rate is, that I'm going to make at least 20% if I take the playing field. And I don't do it every time. Sometimes I make 30 or 40, 50%. But my losses really are based on how long I hold the thing, meaning I try not to hold things more than about 3 days on options unless there's a good reason to keep it. The bottom line, folks, is that you're very, very able to listen and watch me do this and really learn the art of trading, I call it, the process I go through. So my accuracy is going to help me. And like this week, John, we didn't have any losers this week. I'm just curious. How's everything we closed out, right?
Those are, like I said before, those are new trades that were issued this week.
No, just new and closed out. I got you. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and if you don't want to do day trades, I teach you how to do that. Did you give everybody that training earlier, Jonathan, where they could learn how to avoid the day trade rule?
We played that YouTube video in the Genesis Masterclass, so
They
not
could go.
everybody
They
will
could
have
go to
that.
YouTube and get it in, right?
That's what I was just about to show everybody.
Okay.
The YouTube channel, you can get there two different ways. We're live right now, by the way. You can see that right there. And the link is youtube.com/@tbuzztnt. I posted the link there because I was already on the website. And if I wasn't already on the website, it's kind of hard to remember.
That's dtitrader.com/YouTube now,
That's right. That's what I was just about to post. We shortcutted it.
which makes I can
Tom's
remember that one.
was a great suggestion. dtitrader.com/YouTube. But anyhow, if you aren't subscribed, click the bell to subscribe.
Now, what do we charge to join our YouTube channel?
YouTube's completely free.
We let them come in for free, and we got some unbelievable training videos in there. How to turn lemons into lemonade. There's all kinds of stuff. You go through that over the weekend. You've had a whole bunch of training.
Okay, so if you subscribe and download the YouTube app on your phone and turn your notifications on, when Tom goes live, like he is right now, you'll get a YouTube pop up on your phone that says, "Hey, Tom's live. Come check out what he has to say." But once you get here, you see there's a home tab, videos and live. If you click on videos, you'll see a bunch of videos that Tom has spent the time to record for everybody. Fantastic education here. You should go through tons of videos, on down the list.
All right, let's do. Dave asked a great question. Let's hold that to the very end. That's a great question to end with. If you can copy it and hold it, and we'll post it and go live, and I'll tell them how I think about it.
Okay, we watched the two pass rule and we watched the how to bypass the pattern day trading rule in the Genesis session today. So all kinds of great videos. I'll turn it back over to you, Tom. I just wanted to show that.
Yeah, Wayne said something about some video didn't work. I don't know what he's talking about.
I will check out that too as well.
All right, folks. The next few slides will change your life if you listen. And I'm saying that, and I don't say it lightly. Listen up. I have a program that's direct access to you through Telegram. It's called T-Buzz TNT. Now, if you risk $1,000 per month, now this is not other trades, right, John? This is just income only, correct?
That's right. A big distinction because you just added the income trades about a month ago or so.
Yeah, we did a lot of other trades in there that takes this number a lot higher. But how many of you knew if you could pay $200 a month and generate, we've got more month to go, right? 548. Generate a 2.5 times return, and hell, we still got 10 days left. How many of you that would have an opportunity to get that kind of education, that kind of insight on a daily basis would be interested in something like that, where they don't have to sit around looking for stuff, but when things happen, I post it in there, and people, how many of you would want to be part of that? Well, I've got the T-Buzz TNT program, and it's there because I come in on Sunday night sometimes, I'll do something. Okay, so that makes mathematical sense. That's not including some of those other trades that we made. I know you probably take that $1,000 a lot higher than that. Okay, so let's keep going. Now, how many of you have a Coinbase account? Let me ask that question. Well, I've been playing with Coinbase for 5 years. And I mean playing literally because I've been doing different type cash investments in the Bitcoin area. And I got to thinking about this. I got a lot of knowledge now. And I'm going to introduce maybe a Coinbase program trading solution to help people make more money out of their Coinbase account. I like the account. I use it all the time. Over the weekend, when the rest of the market shut down, I'm doing some Coinbase action. But anyway, if you're interested in that, I'm saying today, if you join my T-Buzz TNT, then you'll get an invitation for 30 days before I figure out what I'm doing. Okay? That's what I'm planning on doing. Okay? So our own TNT customers have to say about Target Trade. Let's see what they have to say about this program. Tina is new to trading. She's off the fastest start I've almost seen anybody that's new because I keep it simple. She says it best. She loves TNT. Dave says he was losing a lot of money until he met me. You can erase a lot of sins if you got something working for you like TNT. So if you want to join, btitrader.com/TNT, get in there, 904-416-1776. And I think Michelle captures it best. Info is credible. I don't talk about it that much, but if you ever meet anybody at one of my classes, odds are they're all members of TNT. And it's very clear and concise, couldn't be better. And I wanted to mention to people, we got a lot of new people, okay? There it is, dtitrader.com/TNT. All right. Now let's go to that question and go to a live market and bring IWM up there, Jonathan, IWM. The question was, he's a Genesis customer, and he got into Genesis on a breakout there at, where's that white bar, Jonathan? Where did it break out above that Genesis bar? IWM.
Right where that orange
Yeah, what's that number? You know where
line
it is?
is. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, hang on just a second. Hi, Genesis was 238.28.
Okay. The high of Genesis was
238.28.
238.28. And it's trading 238.42. Basically, it went up to 239.24. So let me ask you, why didn't you take a little profit up there when you were making that money? Did greed step in? I'm just asking. You got to tell me. I don't know. You asked a question. I'm just asking my own now. Oh, you had a target 20%. It didn't get that high. I bet it got 15%. Maybe what you ought to do is, how many contracts do you have, David? 3. Maybe you should have sold one at 10, one at 15, and kept one open. That might have been a better strategy. iPhone said he made $500 off that trade. So the question is, so now we can't do anything about that now, but if you'll study the tapes and everything, you won't make that mistake again. But let's say, should you hold it over the weekend. Well, you got to make that ultimate decision. What I would do, I'll tell you what I would do. Jonathan, or David, what strike did you buy and what expiration date? I'll tell you how I do it. I do this at the end of every day when I have one that I'm holding because of overnight risk. Give us the details of what strike you bought and your expiration date. Okay, Jonathan, look at the November 29th, 242, and let's go shopping for a way. If we hold it, we don't have to. You can scratch the trade and start all over, but if you want to hold it, that's your decision. I would sell probably the 245 call. Where's the 245 call for November 29th?
November 29th, the 245 call is about 36 cents.
And what'd you pay for it, Dave? What'd you pay when you got in? I'm just curious. Dollar. Okay. So you cut your risk down about out to 70 cents, which is a good way to be because it's probably still close to that dollar. And I would do it that way because I don't see any reason that IWM's negative. Now, if it was down near the low of that bar, go back to Genesis and look at the low of that 11 o'clock bar.
Now,
That's how I evaluate it, just what I did.
the low of Genesis is about 237.59.
37.59 is the low, so we're above that. Hey, trade's still good, but you got overnight risk. And the way I offset overnight risk is do what I just did. Great question. Hope that helps you, gives you food for thought, and gives you a strategy going forward, maybe not selling it all at the same price. All right, I want to wrap it up, go back to the slides. Let me know if you're taking me up on this offer I just made today. If you are, then put your email in there. I'd sell to 245 or call 904-416-1776. I think we're going to have a great week next week. I'll see everybody Sunday night. Great week this week. Can't do any better than this. It won't get better than this. This is my favorite time of the year. Jonathan, that's all I got. I'm going to wrap up, I think, and go see my. Now y'all want to hear a funny story? Michael, it's not better than other programs, but why I think it's better? Because I don't have to find Jonathan to put out an order. I can type directly into that Telegram channel and say, hey, go long crude oil, go long USO. I like the ability to be like we're side by side. $200 a month. Jordan Busby's my grandbaby's name. He's a card. You know, everybody thinks their grandchildren are special. This one is to me. Only boy out of the three girls, so that makes it special. Wade Altman says TNT is my favorite service. I guess they're all special. Julius, you'll have to get Jonathan to answer that question. That's out of my lane. I don't think so, Brian. I heard him one day myself. I don't think we're related. 1 year. Well, folks, I know I struggled a little bit this week because of the voice and the cough and all that, but the good news is I'm getting stronger every day. Having fun, fun, fun. I'll see everybody Sunday night. Take me up, join Genesis. I'm pretty excited about what I'm gonna do in Coinbase. So anyway. Oh, now a funny story. My wife has never, she doesn't like risk. She runs the other way from risk. But I convinced her to open a Coinbase account, and I'm headed over there. I'm in the hotel right now to my son's house to help her open it up. So I'll be going through that with her. I opened mine up about 5 years ago. Boy, she was tight with her money. I said, you need to open one of these Coinbase accounts. So I felt pretty strong and convinced her to do it. All right, John, I'm gonna wrap it up. It's 2:34. As we always say, see you on the flip side.